A new study conducted by Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center shows preschoolers are becoming too sedentary, spending a lot of time inside and not spending much time outside. Let's focus in now. Joining us is Dr. Hanna-Attisha, Director of Hurley Medical Center's Pediatric Residency Program. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Doctor. Appreciate it. Do you agree, are kids spending too much time inside? Absolutely. Preschoolers these days are spending what they report 2 to 3% of their time outside in physical activity. So the majority of their time is spent inside and not outside, and that is not what preschoolers are intended to do. Yeah, let's talk about the 3 main reasons the study cited why parents and teachers are keeping kids inside. You got safety and injury concerns, right, focus on academics, and budget constraints. Let's start with the first one, safety and injury concerns. So a lot of states have new policies and guidelines for injury prevention, which is great. So they say that playgrounds can't be too high and that you have to have a certain amount of wood chips, you know, a certain thickness. So all these new safety rules that have come in have made playgrounds less challenging. So kids aren't doing things that they used to do on playgrounds. So because of that, they're just not going outside as much and not having as much challenging things to do when they are outside. And parents are worried they might get hurt, so they're like, oh, no, I keep them inside, don't let them go outside and play. And that's limiting their activity. Wow, budget constraints. Right, so playground equipment to comply with all these new safety guidelines are expensive. One study cited over $10,000 to $20,000 for a new playground equipment, which is a lot for a daycare center or preschool that's on a very tight operating margin. So there's just not enough money for them. Focus on academics? Great, so we all want our kids to be baby Einsteins, to read, and when parents pick their kids home from school, they're like, did he learn his ABCs? Does he know his colors? They're not like, did he learn how to skip or run or jump? So more and more parents want their little preschoolers or 3, 4-year-olds to be smart. We all want our kids to be smart, but physical activity and playing outside and the socialization that goes with that is part of growing up and part of development. So we're missing out on that. So they're not valid reasons in your opinion? I agree. Yep. Kind of look past that, huh? Right. Why is activity outside so important? I think the #1 reason that activity is so important for our young children is because of the obesity epidemic we currently are in. About 14% of Michigan youth are obese. Even more of them are overweight. About 2/3 of Michigan adults are overweight or obese. Children who are obese will become adults who are obese. So it is so important for us to encourage physical activity at the youngest age as possible. So it's super, super important for that reason and for that age, also for their development. They need to socialize and play and run and challenge each other and learn how to share, and that all happens on the playground. What advice do you have for parents to get the children interested in going outside again? Instead of saying, get outside. Yeah, so I think one of the biggest factors is screen time. Kids have amazing new computers and video games and all these different things. So the American Academy of Pediatrics really recommends a limit on screen time, no more than 2 hours a day, and hopefully several days with no screen time. So, I mean, that's one of the biggest things we can do to kind of get kids outside. And we also want to ensure that our neighborhoods are safe. And one big reason that kids don't go outside and parents don't want them to go outside is because they're worried about their safety. So we have to work together in the community to ensure that we have safe areas for children to play, and to keep them out. We got to get kids active, though. Absolutely. What was that stat you said? Children now are... So preschoolers now are 4 times less likely to be active than their grandparents were. Wow. So preschoolers in preschool are they're just sitting and they're eating and napping and learning their shapes and colors, and they should be outside and developing those outdoor gross motor skills. All right, get outside, kids. I guess that's the only thing I say. Dr. Hanna-Attisha, thanks so much. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.